In Florida, a controversial arrest took place, and as the story unfolds, it is unlikely to come as a surprise to many, given the recurring instances of law enforcement officers failing to carry out their duties effectively. The commanding voice of an officer rang out, ordering the car to stop while instructing its occupants to remain within its confines.
What are you doing here? Turn the car off. Turn the car off now. Turn the car off now. Turn the car off. Turn the car off now. Turn the car off.
Watch what you do because I'll punch you in your. Don't ever forget that. I'll punch you in your.
Hey,
let me
explain to you what we're doing.
Put your hands on me and I don't
responding.
I don't give a.
I'm responding to an alarm call.
Put your hands on me and I didn't turn up on you.
Turn around.
Watch your mouth. Oh my mama.
Nobody's under.
The urgent commands continued as the officer persisted in demanding that the car be turned off.
You came in this hostile. Don't you ever put your hands on me. I'll spit on you. Stop.
Under arrest.
Stop.
Stop.
You're holding my hand. What the wrong with you?
Get down.
Hey, chill, bro. Chill, bro. Stop.
40 seconds, right? Step it up. Get down now. Get down now. Turn around and put your hands behind your back. Get down.
I don't care.
Get down.
Repeating the instruction with increasing urgency. In the midst of the chaos, the officer hastily clarified that the situation was not an arrest, urging the woman to turn around while reassuring them that they were not under arrest. However, the events captured in the body camera footage were deeply unsettling and shocking. Despite the officer's reassurances of trying not to cause harm, the tense atmosphere and the officer's actions conveyed a sense of imminent danger. As the situation escalated, the woman in the car expressed their distress, pleading to the officer to stop touching them. She called out to her mother, emphasizing that she could communicate with them but not the officer. Frustration filled their voice as they protested against being held and instructed the officer not to forcefully turn their face. The tension heightened further when 2 additional sheriff's deputies arrived at the scene.
Oh, you're wrong, and I take your whole time. Oh my soul, fix my wrist, it's breaking. What the
It's not breaking.
Fix it, bro. If I said it hurt, and I will spit on you. Fix my wrist. What the is it? Oh,
What are you doing?
stop touching me.
Stop pulling
Stop
away.
touching me. My wrist hurts. I'm gonna pull away. What the
Bro, you doing too much, bro.
You touch me, I'm gonna take your
doing too
Don't
much.
touch me. What's wrong with you? You see it down there? The I'll take this whole car on my mama.
The initial officer attempted to explain the situation, but the woman in the car resisted, refusing to comply. The scene became chaotic, with the car door being forcefully slammed and the individuals traveling with the woman who had been subjected to brutality distancing themselves from the officer.
Listen, come on. You know what's going on?
They snatched her out of the car, slammed on her face, bro. They steered over here off my wrist now.
The officer's body camera captured the events, and it became evident that those present wanted no association with the officer involved. The woman stressed that their wrists were inside the vehicle and cautioned the officer against pushing them, asserting that they were capable of handling the situation without any external force.
Okay.
Get it?
You calm down, we'll help you out, okay?
Don't push me, bro. I'm not gonna tell you.
Put your feet in the car, please.
Please start to get away. I will listen
I will
to
help
you,
you out.
but she cannot be in my face.
It also captures this woman being placed in a squad car. To reiterate, this woman did not do anything wrong, and we know this via local media. So here comes the next investigation story. During a game in Manchester, a police officer harassed A.J. Dillon, a running back for the Green Bay Packers. The incident, captured on video, gained widespread attention. Dillon had sought permission from security guards to interact with fans during a rain delay. As he prepared to jump back into the stands, the officer grabbed him by the collar and pushed him forward. The Green Bay Police Department acknowledged policy violations by the officer and took appropriate action. The Green Bay Packers appreciated the department's response and reiterated their commitment.
Go, Pack, go!
safety at Lambeau Field. Dillon confirmed the misunderstanding and that security had given him permission to engage with the crowd. Dillon explains while enjoying the game from his family suite. A.J. Dillon witnessed the rain delay and seizing the opportunity for some last-minute fun before training camp, he noticed passionate fans braving the rain and going wild in the stands. Inspired, A.J. suggested to his brother-in-law that they join the enthusiastic crowd.
Rain's coming down and they're going crazy, wilding out down there in the stands. I look at my brother-in-law, I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and get down there. Let's go join the fans. So he ran down. Making their way down, A.J. encountered two security guards and sought their permission to stay in a specific section to interact with the fans. Stay in this little section, just show the people some love, and they're like, yeah, so they helped me down.
And these security guards know that you're A.J. Dillon.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're like,
you're in your house.
Yeah, they gave me their hands, helped me down, and jumped down there, and I'm starting to chant, high-fiving people, and then I'm about to jump on my Lambeau Leap, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoop, like I felt like getting pulled back, and I honestly thought it was a fan, like, that was down there. I was like, oh, somebody really wants to take a picture.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And this guy's like, get up there, you're getting arrested. I'm like, all right, that was my plan. I was about to jump up.
They recognized him as A.J. Dillon and gladly assisted him in descending to the lower section. A.J. engaged with the fans, leading chants and exchanging high fives. As he was about to jump into the Lambeau Leap, he suddenly felt a force pulling him back. Initially assuming it was an eager fan wanting a photo, A.J. soon realized that he was being confronted by an individual who instructed him to return to his seat, indicating he was being arrested. Deciding it was best to comply, A.J. quickly rose to avoid any further complications in the situation. Next is a drunken cop caught on duty.
Hey, Officer Oscar, why don't we come back out here real quick? Come back here, boss. It's all good.
Hey, man. So, can you just put your hands on the roof for me? I'm gonna remove your gun, okay? You got any other weapons?
No, but I'm
Take a
prone to
seizure.
seizures. You're prone to seizures? Okay, I'll turn my lights off real quick for you, all right?
I'm gonna put this in my car for the duration of this.
An on-duty police officer, Oscar, was caught exhibiting signs of impairment while on the job. As the officer was conducting his duties, he was approached by another officer who called out to him, urging him to return to the scene. The other officer assured Officer Oscar that everything was all right and requested for him to place his hands on the roof while the individual removed his gun for safety. Officer Oscar complied and informed the person that he did not possess any other weapons but mentioned having seizures. In an attempt to alleviate the situation, Officer Oscar decided to turn his lights off momentarily. Observers noted that despite his efforts to remain composed and collected, Oscar's behavior clearly indicated impairment.
I guess it went to you guys.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure other people was probably calling you.
Okay.
But,
yeah, we got a call.
Yeah, he could be having a medical condition, but he was asleep. We passed by his car. He was asleep.
He was asleep?
was
When did you pass by his car?
Right over here at Center and Firewood.
He came and he keeps stumbling.
Do you smell anything?
Upon searching Officer Oscar's car, it became apparent why he'd been pulled over in the first place. Allegedly, this was the manner in which he had been behaving prior to the concerned individual's intervention. Citizens had dialed 911 to report Officer Oscar's erratic behavior on the road. Witnesses described him as driving all over the road, frequently stopping in the middle of the street or off the road and disregarding stop signs. Despite attempting to reach the Apopka Police Department directly, the concerned individuals were informed that it was closed, prompting them to call 911 instead. They expressed certainty that others may have also placed similar calls, and the conversation briefly mentioned a call regarding firewood, although the context and relevance were unclear. Officer Oscar's condition appeared to be deteriorating as he struggled to maintain his balance and coherence. The conversation took a sudden turn to a discussion about the type of beer that was present in a center console when Officer Oscar initially arrived. The details surrounding the statement were unclear. In an attempt to manage the situation, other officers instructed Officer Oscar to sit down and assured him that emergency medical services would be summoned to transport him. Officer Oscar was asked if he had done anything to celebrate the day, to which he responded negatively. However, he proceeded to disclose that he had taken a significant amount of Benadryl. Acknowledging the nature of their profession, Officer Oscar stated it's often better to be honest. The conversation took a turn as Officer Oscar admitted to having an open container of alcohol in his vehicle, emphasizing that mistakes are made by everyone. The individual speaking with him commented on the stressfulness of their job and alluded to Officer Oscar possibly having a stressful night prior. They expressed a desire for law enforcement officers to treat everyone with fairness and humanity rather than solely favoring their fellow officers. In a desperate plea, Officer Oscar expressed his desire to avoid going to jail. However, the officers continued to engage with him, assuring him that they would figure things out. They instructed Officer Oscar to place his hands together as if in prayer. In an unexpected twist, the officers chose to disregard their colleagues' pleas and proceeded to arrest him despite the initial leniency displayed. It is worth noting that there is no available information to suggest that Officer Oscar caused harm to anyone while he was on duty. It is hoped that his arrest serves as a wake-up call for him and leads to necessary introspection and change.